Thank you. We appreciate you. So we're going to be getting started. It's really informal. I'm not a public speaker, but I'm going to try my darndest. So I'll just get started. I'd like to first start with the Pledge of Allegiance, if you guys are okay with that. We got our little flag right over here. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, through liberty and justice for all. Okay. I'm going to also, if it's okay with everybody, we'll start with a moment of silence and then follow it with prayer. Dear Heavenly Father, we just thank you for this opportunity that we are able to freely come and join together. I thank you for everyone that showed up. I pray that you'd be with those that weren't able to. We do pray a special prayer for victims today that spoke up or that were too afraid. God, we just pray that you would help unite us and just give us the strength to support each other. And we do, again, thank you for this time. Pray that you just bless our time. In your name, amen. So I want to start off first by thanking you all again, and then I'm going to read the Oklahoma State Statute 21-142A2, Victims and Witnesses' Rights, particularly the number 2, to be treated with fairness and respect for the safety, dignity, and privacy of the victims, to receive protection from harm and threats. So the definition of fairness, impartial and just treatment, or behavior, or good grief, sorry, behavioral without favoritism or discrimination. It is not only not fair and a blatant abuse of power how elitists get a free pass by those put into place to uphold the law, but these people in our judicial branches are willfully criminalizing themselves, which is a prosecutorial offense. From poor thought process, manipulation of due process, fraud, and even perjury, and openly showing favoritism. We have seen cover-ups and misuse of public funds to conceal criminal behavior that is happening inside our courtrooms, and it must stop. The reason we are here today and why we showed up November 5th is because we all are witnesses to the continual injustice within the broken judicial system that fails victims over and over. To all victims who stood up, we thank you for your courage, and we also thank those who stood by you. Not everyone has a good support system. It takes courage to stand up and demand justice when you have been violated. Sadly, some victims do not report because they feel the system will fail them anyway, so why waste the energy and time? And it should not be that way. Fighting for justice is not something a victim should ever have to do when they follow the law and filed with the police department. Victims often become victimized again by the corruption within the system that is put in place to protect them. When a system allows itself to lose sight of their duties and responsibilities and misuses their power to turn the tables in favor of someone who should be imprisoned, then they have lost their sight of their oath of office, and that is why we are all here now, to demand accountability for their actions. We are here to remind them that we are no longer going to stand by and allow it to continue. We are getting involved. We are stepping up, studying, and exercising our rights as we are doing now, and will be voting people out of office. We may have little power in the day-to-day runnings of the courthouse, but when any of them continue to show they have been compromised, then we have a duty to vote them out. But that also means some of us must step up, and we are needing to and we must be willing to do more for our communities. The problem is they have all failed to hold each other accountable and continue their day-to-day as if they're untouchable. Victims should not have to put themselves on the front lines to fight against this, but they are, and we need to continue to stand with them to hold the court systems responsible for allowing the courtroom to manipulate cases and no longer just slaps on the hands and dodging jail. This is why we are all involved, because we all want to see the vicious cycle of abuse broken once and for all. This is not about Democrat or Republican, because both sides are victims, and this fight is for all of us. The corruption within the system is why we are all here. We all must stand against it and unite behind these victims, because those in charge have gotten too comfortable in the game that often goes hand in hand with power. Too many within the system have stopped looking to get justice for the victim and shifted their alliances to the criminals and their families. I want to talk about three active cases right now. First is Wayne Bryant Mahan. Has anybody heard of his name? A show of hands if you've heard of the Mahan case. I see two hands. I couldn't find much about this case, and it is over a year old. Wayne was 21 years old, and his accuser was just 17. She stood up and went to the authorities and filed September 16th, 2024, even after threats to her life. I sadly could not find details on why this has not been dealt with and why he is still living scot-free today. This is not justice. All of us are aware of the egregious misconduct that brought us all together today, Jesse McButler, who is scheduled for court review today, after the courts allowed him to walk away, but he should already be in prison for 78 years. And the newest accused of sexual assault, similar to Jesse's case, Payne Porter. He was booked December 2nd, 2025, just last Tuesday. We will be watching this case as well, and we pray for his victim to receive the justice that has been missing for previous victims here for too long. Case after case, it seems the popular parties get all the spoils of the justice system, while the victims are often left feeling hopeless, defeated, betrayed, and unsafe, because the one that victimized them is walking scot-free. This is just a second blow to the victims from the very system that was to protect them. It is so encouraging to see people step up and want to support this effort. Like Mr. Humphrey, who shows up to support us, and he follows many cases closely, and he is not afraid to call a spade a spade. To see what is happening here on the courthouse lawn is a testament to the citizens being fed up. When few in power will step in and hold the court systems accountable, you will see what we are doing here in Payne County, and that is why it has gotten to this point that residents and neighboring county residents stepped up to join, and other states to join while you stand with those who should never have to see their accusers be set free to victimize another. Mr. JJ will be speaking here shortly, but first we want to be here to spend some time. Did Cara Carson make it yet? Cara? Okay, we'll come back to her. She's not here yet, but I think that's all I have for now until she gets here. Did JJ make it yet? Okay, I don't know what time it is. Okay, we'll just take a quick break, because I'm done. Thank you.
Yes. Mandy Reed. Hey, nice to meet you. Yeah. Thank you, ma'am. Okay, guys, my name is Kara Carlson, and I am from Oklahoma City. I was raised here in Oklahoma, and I wanted to tell you guys thank you so much for coming out. This matters. What you guys are doing by standing here and standing up is something that people just don't do anymore, and I appreciate that more than you could fathom. I am a survivor myself. And when I was asked to speak at this event, it became very obvious to me that what we're dealing with, they're not survivors, they're victims. And so we stand here for victims. We stand here for victim rights. And I will tell you this, that we've been silenced as a state. Oklahoma is #1 in the country for domestic violence. This is a crisis that we are ignoring. And I will tell you this, it's a silent epidemic. And what we know from silence is it's insidious. And what we know is that it's seriously coming to a halt. Women are coming forward. Women are getting brave. The media is open to the idea that we are not safe. We have got a crisis on our hands that's going to take women, men, children, people like us standing here that are standing up for the underdog. The underdog is hurting. They are in a situation of unprecedented injustice. And we are putting a name to it. We're putting a name to injustice. And by standing up, we're saying to the DAs, we're saying to the judges, we're saying to the prosecutors, we're saying to the masses that consequences are coming. And the consequences are going to be had in the courtroom. What we've experienced as a community through the sad events that have taken place in Payne County is unacceptable. We've got a role here. Everybody here is for a reason. And I would say to the survivors, to the victims, that survivorship is coming, but it's hard. What they have endured and what they are continuing to endure, because there is just no justice that has happened for them, is hard. It's not fair. It's hidden. It has been set aside and silenced. And it's deafening. The silence that we've experienced through them is deafening. And I say to the moms and the dads of these victims, we are sorry. We let you down. We didn't know we needed to speak up louder. We didn't know that injustice was going to slap your family in the jaw. We are so very sorry. So I say to you people today, thank you. Thank you for coming out for the silent survivor. Thank you for having enough time in your day to make time to say no more. We've had enough. We need more. We need more accountability. We need legislators like we have with J.J. Humphreys that are not afraid of the powers that be, that are putting a voice to the pain. And I will tell you this, we need more and more of them. We are in a crisis, like I said. And I thank you for coming here today. It means more than you could fathom for the survivor out there that has been silenced, that has felt injustice. I know for me, I didn't get justice. I got strangled, I got raped, and I got no justice. And the fact of the matter is this is common. This is common in Oklahoma. And the idea that we are #1, and it is a known fact and we are sitting around and we are allowing justices to make plea deals behind closed doors, knowing the situation that we are in, it's disgusting. It's downright unright, unethical, and scary. So again, I come to you people and I say thank you. Thank you for caring enough to be here. And thank you enough for raising some hell. So, thank you.
We're going to take just a small break. JGO should be here shortly. I do have a few extra signs here. If you guys wanted to go up and start talking at the road, you're welcome to do that. We'll wait for JJ to get here, and he'll be speaking here shortly. Thank you.
I think she is, so this is an old sign. I probably should put that. We could put that one down.
Well, and the thing that everybody should know too is Grillner removed his name from the first petition. Yeah, the coward. Yeah. That's one of your legislators. Yeah. So.
Put your phone. You're annoying.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it's going.
And I have some extra here if you wanted to make your own. Hey, I just got in a package, but I'm gonna have to just take the plastic out.
Yes, I'm gonna go. I don't think they will be sneaked on. Oh, okay. I thought you were just standing around. I don't know. I just keep thinking. I mean, the crowd's gonna be like how? So, whoever's running it. Yeah. No, it's not what it's doing. That's gonna be hard to read. I like the handwriting. I held that one, but that's what I held. Does this one say fire her? Well, I think there was one that said fire her. But it's already stepping down. She's already stepping down. But feel free to make another one. Yeah, I heard she is stepping down. Our first year, she is. She'll be on. She will be gone. Has anybody heard it? He isn't going to miss it. What's the file?
Glad to see you back here, man. Insane day. Already.
Yeah, they called up to get back. I had to hell to know if you want to protect him or you don't. Anyway.
Check. All right, I'm going to go on and introduce our next speaker, Representative Mr. Justin J.J. Humphrey. He was elected in 2017 to serve in the Oklahoma House of Representatives for District 19, which includes Choctaw, I practiced it. Pushmataha counties and parts of Atoka and Bryant County. I did try to practice that.
It's a hard one. It's got to roll off your tongue.
Yeah.
Mr. Humphreys currently serves as a vice chair in the House Public Safety and Tourism Committees and is a member of the Judicial and Public Safety Oversight Committee in the Appropriations and Budget, it's a mouthful, Judicial Subcommittee. In previous years, he has served as a chair of the House Criminal Justice and Corrections and the Public Safety Committees, a vice chair in a county and municipal government committee, and on the Agriculture and Rural Development, Judiciary, Criminal Justice, and Corrections. He worked for the Oklahoma Department of Corrections for 20 years before retiring. Mr. Humphrey has stepped into the ring and will be running November 3rd, 2026 for Oklahoma Lieutenant Governor. Woo! We want to thank you, Mr. Humphrey, for your selfless service to our state and for answering the call to be involved in our state politics. Many of us can't begin to understand how hard that must be to be at times, and the energy it takes from you. Thank you for your selfless sacrifice. We want to thank you for taking time to come and stand with Payne County residents, and we push for justice in this jurisdiction. We share more with good grief. He will share more with us about the grand jury indictment. Please join me in welcoming Oklahoma District 19 House Representatives and candidate for the 2026 Oklahoma Lieutenant Governor, Mr. J.J. Humphrey.
Hey, I want to thank y'all for coming out today, a little cool day. I especially want to give a shout out to those from other states that are here. That is awesome that we can see that. Denver, Texas, somebody said Pennsylvania may be represented, so that is just awesome. Live streaming on some of this, so that is really, really cool that we've got other states joining us in our fight to get justice and make sure, guys, this is what it's all about. If we don't have a court system, we lose our country, we lose our state. Guys, this is not about Republican, Democrat. Guess what? The lady wears a blindfold. She's not supposed to be, anything about what party. She's not supposed to be about gender, race, anything about that. Our court systems have to be uncorrupt. And right now, guess what? They're corrupt as hell. They're corrupt as hell. And one right here is as corrupt as they get. And so it's time to call them out. I wanted to get you all together so that I could explain what has happened, what we're doing. So we had things going on all over the state with abuse of children, sexual abuse, torture in places. And so we had tried to have a hearing, we did have a hearing at the Capitol, and we had that hearing and we put on evidence of all these atrocities, some of these atrocities coming from this county. And so we were stopped. Our own government tried to stop us from having those hearings. Once we had those hearings, we had ordered, if you went on OSBI's webpage, it said one of the ways to initiate an investigation was that a committee chairman, I was chairman then until I made them mad and they kicked me off of chairman, which I wear like a badge of honor, I guarantee you. So here's the deal, I was chairman. It said if you get chairman and a percentage, the majority of your committee, you can order an OSBI investigation. Guys, that's what we did. The OSBI and our House come back and said, we don't think you have the authority. I said, well, that's funny. It's right there on your website. And I went and talked to 2 or 3 lawyers, and they said that we do. But instead, they stopped us. They shut down any investigations into these issues. Guys, why would you shut down an investigation into whether kids got waterboarded at a mental health institution? Who does that? Who does that? Why would you shut down an investigation as to whether DHS, OJA, and OCCY knew that kids were being sexually assaulted in their juvenile detention centers, and they allowed it to go on to keep from embarrassing themselves? I find it embarrassing that they allowed it to go on. They have a different set of morals than I do. Their compass is broke, I can tell you right now. So guys, that's what started all this. We had started trying to have a grand jury. We filed the grand jury because some of these cases were in Payne County, so we did have the authority to do that. They ended up arresting one of the main organizers here. They put $1 million bond on him. He had came in, had abuse of his kid. He had reported it. Again, they arrested him, said that he had kidnapped his own kid when he had been here every day telling them he had his kid. They said he obstructed. He's on video going, I'm not going to give you my kid to put in abuse, but if you want him right there, that's not obstruction. That's on video. They arrested him, put him in jail, and put $1 million bond. I saw the other day where a person got stabbed in the neck, stabbed his mother in the neck up here, and I think he got a $50,000 bond. Stabbed a person in the neck, $50,000 bond, absolutely. And so here's the thing, we've got to stand up. So what we did, we filed this grand jury. They killed it. We had political people come in that didn't have standing in this. They filed in that. The court here killed it for political purposes. If you look in the U.S. Code, it says that judges and politicians cannot conspire together to kill a grand jury. This is a people's grand jury. They shouldn't have done that. They didn't have standing. This judge up here said that he had certified the signatures. Guess what? The board never met. We said in court, Judge, how did you certify the signatures? It has to be board certified, and the board never met. He said it wasn't his problem. Guys, that's unbelievable. I left the courtroom. I went and emailed the chairman of that board, and I said, did you meet, did you review, and did you certify those signatures? Guess what the answer was? In writing. Never met, never reviewed, never certified. They illegally killed this. We sent it to the Supreme Court to get an appeal. They told us that if we didn't have certain things in by today, that would be dead. And so that's what we're doing here today. So we have written another grand jury petition. We need 2 more signatures for the filing of, and then we're going to file that this afternoon. So as soon as we get those 2 signatures, we're going to walk back up here. We're going to file a brand new grand jury, and that's when we need your help. That's when we need you to get out and tell the public. That's when we need to go around and collect signatures. Guys, we need at least 4,000 to 5,000 signatures. We really only need 35, but we want to go overboard. We want to make sure that we have more because they've been pulling some pretty sketchy stuff, and we're used to sketchy stuff. Guys, if we get this, we in fact, because of the way that the Supreme Court has handled this, we put the entire Supreme Court on this grand jury. We put the entire judicial complaints because we have complained about these judges, and guess what they've done? They've done absolutely nothing. Guys, if you think Jesse Butler's case is the only one here, they just come out with another rape case that is just equally as bad. If you want to look at Daryl's case of what abuse has happened and how they went after him and not the abuser, how they jailed him and done nothing to the abuser. If you want to look at a grandma who turned her grandkid in to be checked, and guess what? It was substantiated that there was sexual abuse, and guess who they arrest? Grandma. Now, guys, when we start having that, it's time to do something. This is where it starts. Guys, this is going on across the entire state. This is happening everywhere. I can tell you case after case. My phone rings off. People think I'm lying. I get somewhere between 200 and 300 messages, texts, and emails every day, okay? And most of them are either DOC corruption or DHS corruption, and stealing your kids, taking your kids without probable cause, without due process. Guys, we can nowhere greater than right here, and I believe the Butler case that's going on today is true evidence of the way that this court system has operated. Now it's out for the public. Now it's out for the United States. In fact, guys, I laughed. I was talking to a guy that we were on a kind of national podcast deal, and he said that he had gotten stuff from Greenland about this. So guys, it's not just nation, it's worldwide. People are seeing this. People are seeing what's being done here, and they're expecting in red Oklahoma. It doesn't get any redder. I know this is a college town. A lot of times we think college towns may be a little bit liberal, but guys, this ain't about liberal. This ain't about Democrat, Republican. If you don't know that rape is wrong, then there's something wrong, okay? If you don't know child abuse is wrong, I don't care what party you belong to, we should all be able to come together and agree this stuff is wrong, and it is time that we fix this court system and demand justice. And guys, we lose our country if we don't fix this right here. We're the heartland. People are watching us. We got to step up and get it done. I appreciate every one of y'all being out here on a cold day. Especially appreciate our friends from other states. And I will take questions if anybody's got a couple. I must explain really good.
What happened with Chief Justice Rowe whenever you guys handed him the deal?
Okay, so here's the question. So the question was Chief Justice Rowe, which is the Chief Justice over the Supreme Court. And so what we did, we appealed when they terminated the grand jury, we appealed that. Now, what you got to know is we had put Chief Justice Rowe on the last petition, okay, because of the way that the Supreme Court has handled all the cases before that. So, guys, it's pretty unheard of that you would put the Supreme Court justice on there. But guys, it's time we call them out. I don't care who they are, we're going to call it out. So here's the deal. We've been going for 3 months asking for relief over kids being abused, and guess what? We can't get a response. They don't even answer us. So the day that I dropped the appeal, so I go in there, drop an appeal to say we want to appeal this, that was on a Monday. Guess what? I get a response that Monday right then, and they respond and they say this. They say, well, you are a 5013C because we had a similar name to a 5013C. Now, 5013C is a political organization, and again, they can't be on a grand jury. Okay, they cannot be on a grand jury, and anything they have to have a lawyer represent them. Guess what, guys? We were not a 5013C. We actually went to court right here in this courtroom to prove that we were not a 5013C. And guess what? We got that proved, and they ruled in our favor right here in this courtroom because they didn't have any choice. We delivered the evidence, okay? So when we dropped this to him, he said, y'all's a 5013C, and if you don't have a lawyer here by Monday, we're kicking this out. So I came back and responded, number one, if you looked at the file, you would know that we already fought that and we've already won that. Now, here's what's funny. This Supreme Court justice, he ain't supposed to talk to anybody about this case. Okay? So how would he know that? Because if he looked in the file, he would know that's not even an argument. We already won that. But that tells you, Scooby-Doo would call it a clue, okay? Scooby-Doo would also say, Rut-row, the judge is talking to somebody, okay? And he's talking to politicians, lawyers, I can tell you who he's talking to. I think. That's what I believe, okay? So we called him out on that, and we called him out on... Now, you know what? I don't have a law degree, and I ain't went through Ethics 101, but I know it's wrong if you're the judge and you're named in the petition to rule on your own petition. You gonna kick your own petition out, Judge? How judgely is that? Golly, you can't get no more corrupt than that. I said, wow. So here's what we did. We called him out on that, and guess what? They changed judges. So I got a response, and they said, we're going to get to make oral argument. That's where they made a mistake. Let me have a mic. They're going to be in really trouble, okay? So we're going to get oral arguments, and the thing about it is they switched judges. Now, you know what that means? That means JJ was right, but they're never going to admit it. When they change judges, that's like, uh-oh, he got us. Okay, so they change. Instead of putting it on the record, you make a valid point, we're going to step off here, we're going to get somebody else. Okay, they didn't do that. They just switched, and then he come back and said, well, you two can go, but if this other group shows up, they got to have a lawyer. And it's like, hey, we done told you it's us. we're the ones going. So we do have an opportunity to maybe bring that back, to bring back the original petition. But guys, what they'll do, this is what they do. They take you out to deep water and they make you tread till you drown, okay? So they'll continue and they'll continue and they'll find some reason. They'll probably have some law that says if you're so short and wear a cowboy hat, you can't come into the Supreme Court. Or if you don't wear a straw hat or something like that, you wear a straw hat and win or something. They'll have some really substantial rule, I'm sure. I have true faith in them that they'll kick it out for some reason, okay? So again, that's why we have filed. The petition is already ready. I have already signed it. We have 2 people, and the reason we want those 2 people up there on the top is because they carry significant weight here in this county. And we think that if we can put that on there, that tells a lot of people, hey, you know what I'm saying? Some of these political people might not want to take us on as bad if these people are on there, and we think we can get more fairness if those people are on there. So that's why we're seeking their signatures. As soon as we get that, we're going to walk right up here in the court. I had a meeting that I was supposed to be at in Oklahoma City today at 3:30. Guys, man, I'm meeting some high-ranking law enforcement people to turn in a lot of stuff, not just this stuff, all over the county, corruption all over the state, all kinds of stuff. And so we had to cancel that meeting, so that's going to let me go and run and get these signatures and run back here and file this thing. I'm excited. Now, here's the process once we file it. They have 4 days to either approve it. Now, here's going to be the little dilemma they got. We wrote it almost similar to the same one we did before. So they already approved the same one we did before. They're going to have a hard time saying this one's not right. Well, Judge, you done approved that last one. Now, what's going on? So we've left it as simple, and we've left it just like that so that it's going to put them in a difficult place to deny it. But if they do deny it, they had to tell us why they deny it, and then we have 2 days. Guys, do you see the process is against us? Man, the process is not to help the people get remedy. That's what the founding fathers set this process up, is to get remedy when your government fails you, when the court fails you. And guess what? The court and the government has set up a system to make sure you can't get remedy. We're going to fight. We're going to stay on top of it. If they give us 2 days, we'll get that dropped down dead, and we'll get it back to them, and we're going to get this grand jury, and we're going to fight like hell to make sure that everything is set straight, and that we get justice here in Payne County, and that we set the record to start across the state of Oklahoma. Guys, if we can do it here, we can do it out throughout America. I think America is watching us, and we're going to show them how to get it done. Yes. I think they are. Yes. I do support President Trump. Guys, here's... He's not a convicted rapist. Go get you. Okay, then here's the deal. Here's the deal. I'm going to tell you. Listen what I'm going to say on that. And
This isn't about you.
Hey.
It's not about me.
Listen.
I know.
I love a little hypocrisy. I love it when you yell. Yell a little bit louder. It makes me feel good. Okay. So here's the deal. Come on, yell for me. Yell for me. I like it when you yell. It makes me look good. Okay. So anyways, here's the deal, guys. This is what I'm going to say about President Trump. I love President Trump. But if you put your faith in one man, guess what? There's no one man perfect. There's no one man right all the time. Guys, we have to have enough sense to listen, to think, to ignore bullshit, and be able to walk out and you know what? And to make your own choices, and to make choices that are based on real fact, on real information, and not woke people who can't read, okay? You have to make it on real stuff, okay? So that's what we're going to do. I love Trump. I pray for Trump. And guess what? And I pray for our country, and we're going to hold him up, and we're going to hold up the people who are out here trying to stop corruption, and that's what we're all about. Any other questions? Except from you. I ain't taking questions from you.
That's right.
tried to quash. Now, guys, if you know what quash means, it means that we're going to try to stop, try to kill the grand jury. So you can go back. Don't take my word for it. Go back in, get the court record. There is a motion to quash. Now, what they're saying is, well, we just want our name off of that. Well, who wouldn't want their name off of it? I get that. But, guys, here's the deal. Just because your name is on a grand jury doesn't mean you're guilty. It means there's some things that need to be investigated and need to be looked at. And so, again, why would you not want? I've been the subject of a grand jury. Guess what? It was not a great process. I didn't like it. But guess what? I didn't get indicted. Everything come out the way it was supposed to. So, again, it's a process. But we shouldn't. It's illegal to try to kill a grand jury. It's illegal to try to obstruct a grand jury. And that's one of the things that we're going to be bringing back up in this new grand jury, is because we're going to come out and say, you tried to obstruct, you guys tried to obstruct, the court tried to obstruct, these people tried to obstruct. We want them to come and answer. We want them to come and answer. Why are you trying to kill investigations? Why are you trying to stop investigations? Why are you not joining us in these investigations? Why are you trying to stop grand juries? Why are you trying to quash what's good for the people, to stop rapists, to stop child molesting, to stop DHS from taking kids and putting them in the wrong home? Wouldn't you agree that there's no reason why we would want to stop that? And again, that's what this grand jury is going to be all about, is calling all of those government officials. And guys, there's going to be some big names on this. There's going to be some big things. I'm going to guarantee you they're going to go after us like biting hogs. They're going to go after. I fully expect for them to go after me, and it's going to get ugly. But this is something that needs to be done. People need to be called out. I don't care how high they are, where you are in the state. This needs to be done and need to be answered. Why are we doing these things? Anybody else? Everybody warm? Actually, it feels pretty good. I like cold weather.
What are you going to do for us when you become Lieutenant Governor?
One of the things that I decided to run for Lieutenant Governor about, so guys, I was asked to run for state auditor. I've been asked to run for corporation commission. I did not want to do that. Reason I'm running for Lieutenant Governor is because it turns out that our Lieutenant Governor in Oklahoma has been very weak. The position has been extremely weak. They only use it for tourism. It is a very weak position. Great people had it. I love them. They're fine, but they didn't do nothing, okay? That's just the way it is. It turns out that Lieutenant Governor is the top guy over the Senate. If you ever had somebody who had the backbone to walk in there and take that position, take that gavel and thump one of them in the head and say, get out the way and go sit down in the corner, guess what? You could have transparency. You could have transparencies in these agencies. DHS lost $100 million this year. Where's it at? We just gave them $100 million more. We did not hold them accountable. DHS is out of control. They are taking kids. They are foster care is a nightmare. We have case after case after case that they refuse to answer. They refuse to take any kind of accountability. They ruin people's lives. It is time that they pay for that. It is time they're held accountable for that. If I was Lieutenant Governor, I think that we would be able to use the Senate to call out their budget, to call out their legislation, and to call them out. And again, the Senate can actually dismiss them. So we call them on the carpet. We start fixing every agency. It's not just DHS. Mental health is broke. Guys, when you have mental health issues, all the people that are homeless, guess what? That's a mental health issue. It's because they've closed all the beds. We don't have anywhere to go with them. Guys, I have a plan, a system, how we can address the jail issues. There's major corruption there. How we can address the homeless issues, how we can address the mental health issues, Department of Corrections issues, how to fix all of these problems. I've got the money found. It's no new taxes. They got the money. They're just abusing the money. And guys, that's what all this is about. If you really want to know problems, follow the cash. And again, that's where we would get to. So if I could step in as there, we could hold whoever gets the governor. If you had somebody who would be transparent, they can put the governor on notice. They can show what bills that he won't pass. They can show what needs to be done. They can force the House and the governor to act right if you get the right man in there. I believe I'm that right man. Anything else? Yes. Nope, that's not a question. That's a picture. Okay? Good enough? Hey, I appreciate every one of y'all for being here. You're awesome.
Thank you, sir. I want to thank you all for taking the time to come out here and to support. A special thank you to Miss Melissa Woodworth, who wasn't able to make it for personal reasons. We're so thankful for her heart and for everything she has done to help push this. And I also want to make sure everybody's aware of the Facebook page, Stand Against Injustice in Payne County. That is this, and I do have it on the table if you need help with the name. And a few housekeeping rules. Actually, before I get to that, sorry. So I do have this. If you guys have not signed this, this is to help get your name on the list to for the future. What he was talking about, the bringing the indictment into here. So just get your information on this paper so that you can stay informed. What else? Before we end, some housekeeping. Please make sure to pick up all your trash. Don't leave any signs laying around. If you see a piece of trash that's not yours, just walk by and pick it up for us. There is a trash can right here. This does end at 3. Our permit is over at 3, so we'll be, disbanding properly, respectfully at 3 o'clock. We don't want anybody in here to have to come chase us away. So I think that's all I have. Appreciate you guys. Thanks again.
Thank you for everything you're doing. It got cold. I don't feel like it was this cold when we started. Well, it's
Hello, my name is Betty. I come here today in support of not only the Butler rape victims, but also all victims of rape who have not sought justice today, and the parents and children who are victimized by the corruption within judicial systems and DHS. Today is your day. We need you today. Do not be scared. I am a survivor. 26 years ago, I stood up for myself. I had to help myself because of lax laws during that time frame. Laws which in my part of the country have changed because of my own very case. You must come. Sign these pre-petitions. Let's get this regular petition going, and let's get these signatures out there. We need this case reopened to go to trial because these voices matter. The abuse within homes, the abuse within systems, the abuse everywhere needs to stop. Now, we're done. We're sick of it. Victims turn into survivors. You are not a victim forever. I'm speaking to you. I'm not speaking to your assailant today, but if your assailant is listening, we're coming for you. You're done. We're done. No more rape, no more violence, no more getting beat, no more getting hurt. You're done. Everybody here who is listening should come to Payne County, all Payne County residents, and come sign this pre-petition. And when you see the petition come knock on your door, sign it. If you are a victim today, go somewhere, find this petition and sign it. So your trial and error in this can end as well. There needs to be stronger laws on this. You need to watch your special needs children. I come in support of my best friend today, whose child is special needed. Her abuser was forced back into her life after 11 years because of lies and deceit. Even doctors have lied. Yeah, we're watching you too. The reports are there. The evidence is there. Gather it. Make sure you have it. If you're headed to court, make sure you sign up for a trial by jury. You have that right as a victim to request a trial by jury. Do it. You have that right. Do not let this go to probation where they get to pluck flowers every day or mow a lawn with their granddaddy. Get out there and support yourself because nobody else can do it. I can't do it. JJ Humphrey's doing everything that he can. The state representatives have their hands bound if you don't put your signature on the clipboard. We need you. Please come out today. We need to end all corruption. DHS needs oversight in Oklahoma. Once again, they have not done what they said they were going to do unless it was covering their end. There are places that have already been changed.